this is sucking a lot of my battery out fast.
No worries. All right, and we are live. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
So welcome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Abyssinia, and I'm your host today for Model 101. This is an educational webinar series for aspiring models and models who are currently in the industry. As myself, I'm always still learning and looking for advice from others. So a little bit about me. I have been modeling since college, so it's been about 6 years. And it's been a journey, okay? It's been very hard. There's you hear a lot of no's all the time, but then one day you'll hear a yes, and that's just an amazing feeling. You go through a lot. There's a lot of ups and downs. I wanted to start this model webinar series. It originally started as a YouTube channel. About 3 years ago, or maybe more, I was like, okay, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I want to offer advice to aspiring models. Me just getting in, I was a freelance model. I never booked a paid gig. So I then started doubting myself because I'm like, hold up, wait a second. You've never booked a paid gig. What makes you think somebody wants to take advice from you? So then I just put a pause on that, and I never did it. I kind of really wanted to just show my journey, honestly. I wanted to share my journey along the way. That was my original idea.
Right.
Never did it. Started doubting myself. Fast forward 3 years later, I was like, okay, why not start again? So I started my YouTube channel, and then quarantine happened. So now I'm home with all this extra time. So I was like, hey, why not collaborate with other artists and share advice to other aspiring models? So that's why we're here now.
Right.
So Janelle, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Janelle Hill. I do hair and makeup. I started with makeup. I have 2 companies, Neon Fix, which is on-location hair and makeup services, and then Prim and Perfect, which is a on-location hair and makeup services for strictly bridal. So I do a lot of weddings. I did LeBron James' wedding. I've worked with them a couple times before that. I've worked with Serena Williams. I just really, I pretty much do everything as far as like hair and makeup. So I'm just really all about everything beauty and glam. And I think it's just a great way to not only, look cool, look good for Instagram, but just like celebrate yourself, and that's really what it's about.
All right. Thank you, Janelle. And welcome, Daria. It's a pleasure to have you here. Can you tell us about yourself?
I've been 20 years in the business. I would say 15 years professionally, I guess in production, doing photo shoots and weddings and things on my own as a freelancer. The first 5 years of my career, I started at makeup counters such as MAC and Estee Lauder. And
I'm a MAC girl.
Yeah, okay.
Come up.
And then from there, you meet clients, you meet people, and I started to be asked to go on photo shoots and do events, and it just started from there. It just was like a domino effect, and I realized I liked that more, and I just began. That's where it all started. I actually started in Philadelphia. And doing photo shoots for magazines, doing submissions for magazines such as like King and Maxim and all those kind of like hot girl magazines. And I think I just established a name for myself at that time before I think Instagram or internet was even popular. I think it was MySpace, and I utilized that to the fullest.
Yeah.
And I think it just started from there. Just always kind of staying current with the internet trends. And social media trends, and just trying to get myself out there as much as possible. And now then it turned into doing makeup for corporate clients, and now as of late doing a lot of celebrity stuff. I have some notable clients I'm really proud of in my my repertoire, and I do some press tours for them as well as some TV television production and reality shows. Sorry, I'm losing my
That's amazing. So both of you guys what is it like working with celebrities, since both of you have worked with celebrities?
I've probably honestly had like maybe like one or two divas, but honestly, they're just like regular people, you know, just probably maybe a little busier than the average person, but they're just like regular people.
Yeah.
Same. Definitely. I would agree with her 100%. One or two divas, you know, but I feel like if you have the personality to sort of get around it, you can work with anybody. It's not a big deal. But most are like regular people. But again, just, you know, just busier, like you said. It's a piggyback off what you said.
Yeah, definitely. So we're here to give aspiring models and industry models advice on photo shoots, makeup tips, whatever you guys want to share that would be helpful. One thing I know is I don't know how to do makeup. Right now I have just a very basic, I'm wearing liquid foundation, not liquid foundation. I'm wearing a tinted moisturizer because I don't like a lot of makeup, but I just wanted some cover up. And then I have some highlight. But honestly, I don't even know where to begin with the highlight brush. I'm currently using this, and I don't even know if that's the right brush to use.
That's the right brush.
Right brush.
I mean, you use a couple different brushes, but I like that one.
There's other brushes, but that's a great brush. Yeah, there's like you can do a smaller domed, light feathery brush. I don't know what you like to use, Janelle. I can use both. I can use the fan. Sometimes I even use my finger and then blend it out with like a you know a pointy brush, a feathery brush. Yeah. What do you think?
I personally like the fan brush. That's actually what I used to do my little highlight here today.
Yeah.
I just feel like it lays down the product very nicely, and it kind of just like hugs the cheek area, especially if you like have your client smile, you know, you can like blend it into your blush. So yeah, I really love that for cheek highlight. For like a nose highlight, I'm not gonna lie, like I use my finger, like the little like Rudolph right there, or the little slope right there, all the way down. Yeah, so you're on the right track. You got the right brush.
I'm like, I'm fine. Daria, you have been doing my makeup. It's been like 3 years. We met like 3 years ago on set, and we've been working together ever since. Like, I love you. You're an amazing soul. We just grew on each other. And Janelle, you and I met recently working with the same company actually on another photo shoot, and I'm happy that we're having us that day. I was so cranky that morning. I was so cold. I was trying to be pleasant to everybody.
Right.
But it ended up turning out a great shoot, and I'm so happy that we met.
Absolutely, girl. I always consider you one of my muses and one of my dearest models, one of my friends.
Thank you.
Yes, girl. I'm always looking forward to seeing you. Absolutely.
So speaking of being on set though, when you're on set, say you don't have a makeup artist to do your makeup, like what tips can you give to models? Like I've done several photo shoots where I didn't have a makeup artist, and YouTube did help a lot. There was one shoot where I beat my makeup and I thought it looked really good, but then on top of that, the photographer did some extra retouches. But like, what advice can you give makeup models who don't have a makeup artist?
Honestly, I love the fact that Rihanna came out with her Fenty matchsticks. I feel like they really have simplified contouring for a lot of people. So I would say like make sure you have, you know, your basic foundation on, and if you can get a Fenty matchstick that matches, you know, your contouring color, it's just like a roll up. You can go do your fish face, get your cheek contour, sides of the nose, blend that in, get your nose contour, you know, jawline, basically anywhere you want to contour with like an easy like little roll up stick, roll it back down, and then a sponge to blend out on top of your foundation and a concealer. I would say keep it simple. I know a lot of times people, when they don't know what they're doing, they're like, you know, they feel like they have to do it all. Simple looks actually do look pretty, you know, even, you know, sometimes that's even what celebrities want, you know, it's just some type of like simple look. So that'd be my advice.
Is for sure for certain portfolio shoots. Like if you're a model and you're building your portfolio and you're doing your digitals, or your agent is just looking for a natural basic shoot to submit you to work, that's what you would go for. Something natural, not too much makeup. They want to see natural beauty. So there's like different types. What would you guys call it? There's like the natural beauty, and then there's like the glam or
natural glam.
Drama.
Natural glam, and then just glam.
Yeah.
Exactly. Drag.
So,
No, I'm joking.
yeah, natural glam I think is like pretty much what I do with you on shoots, Abyssinia. Like, you know, where it's like it pops, but it's still believable. But I think maybe like full out glam is like these 25 millimeter lashes, you know, serious highlight, extreme contour.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think that, and that's, you know, kind of what these reality TV shows have, you know, cultivated. And which is great, you know. I think it's fabulous because listen, the more the merrier for me.
Exactly. I guess
But
it depends on
what people want for like commercial shoots where they want you to pop, but they want it to be believable to the average woman. You know, or to the, you know, to a girl who's like, okay, yes, I want to be beat, but not insane.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
So a lot of models, I know, to starting off, if you're an aspiring model, you don't want to pay, or even any model in general. Like, not a lot of times is it that you have the money to pay for a photo shoot or pay the makeup artist. So then that's when bartering comes in, and that's when you have like the trade for print type of work. So do you guys do a lot of trade for print? Do you have any advice on that? Like, how would, if I was on Instagram scrolling and I came across your profile and I was like, oh, I like her work, and I DM'd you and asked like, would you be interested in collaborating? What would your response be, or how should I go about it to get you on board? Is that even something you do? If it's not something you do, then
yeah. No, definitely. I think for me, it would depend on what I need in my portfolio at that time.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, at one point I had a lot of African American models, you know, Black girls, but I needed, you know, a little bit more mixed nationality, you know, just to show the range of my work. So it's really going to depend on that with the artist that you hit up. It's also going to depend on the other moving parts of the shoot, like the photographer, you know. So it really, yeah, I definitely do trade for portfolio. I think Instagram DMs are a cool way to hit me up and other makeup artists up. I know there used to be something back in the day called Model Mayhem, and that was like
I remember that well.
Yeah, and that's a platform where you could either hit people up for
I remember that well.
Old school, right?
I think it's still going on.
Yeah, it is. It surely is. As I've gone up in my modeling career and I've learned a lot and I've built my brand to the point where I don't need to use Model Mayhem, not giving shade or anything, but I've had my fair share of bad experiences, one, on Model Mayhem, and I never went back. So,
so I was just pointing out the fact that they had, you know, they were like, hey, you could, you know, pick, hey, do you want to do trade portfolio, or is this like a page shoot? Or so you know, it's definitely something that is like industry standard, you know, like shooting and stuff like that. So models shouldn't feel uncomfortable ever hitting anybody up for, you know, a test shoot. Another way is through agencies. If models are through agencies, their agencies will already like set up shoots for them, a lot of test shoots. But yeah, Instagram, social media, I think is a great way. References from photographers or vice versa.
Yeah.
If I feedback on that, you know, there are times I will do trade for print. It definitely, and I have done it a few times. Last year, which, you know, I was like, well, you know, I don't really think that I needed it at that time. But then, you know what? Every year you have to refresh your book. And there's times when there's going to be a model or a photographer or a theme or just a creative moment that you may have that you want to like project. And you're like, you know what? This is the time where I'm going to take the opportunity to take advantage of this. I just think that you should just sort of figure out whether you feel like, you know, if it's worth it. You know, it could be like a location situation. It could be a financial situation, like where you feel like, okay, I don't really want to travel that far, or I can't do it, or maybe the photographer's work, whatever the teamwork might not be what you're looking for. So you have to make that assessment and ultimately just go from there. But listen, nothing is out. So I even like, you know, as of late, I've been looking to do some TFP. So if there's any
I
like
as well. Like we should collaborate on something. But that's a very good point, Daria, because it's not just the model's reaching out to the photographer, but then also there are times where the photographer reaches out to the model or the makeup artist reaches out to the model. And then at that point, as a model or a makeup artist, a photographer, any creative, there's when you need to determine if it's worth your time, if this is somebody that you want to connect your brand with,
right?
If you like their work and you think it's a good fit for you. So it goes both ways. It's not just me sliding in your DMs and like you saying yes or no. It's me sliding in your DMs and giving you an idea, asking you if you're interested. And then a lot of times it's good to put together a vision board. So you can share your idea like more fluidly, and it increases your chances of getting a yes.
Right.
So maybe go on Pinterest if you're looking to work with somebody and you don't have the funds to pay. Let them know you're interested in collaborating or doing a trade for print project or trade for portfolio project, and put together a vision board on a mood board. Is that what they're called?
That's right. Vision board
on Pinterest or Canva or whatever, and just email it to them, and then you probably have higher chances of working with them.
Absolutely. Listen, I go on that big time. Again, I want to tell, like I'm in the process of working on something now for June, and that's what we're doing. We're going back. Me and the photographer are actually going back and forth, and we're in the process of picking the models. But we're going back and forth of the ideas so that when we go on set, we know exactly what we are looking for. There are no questions. There are no like, well, let me just wing it, because you don't want to waste people's time, especially if you're doing TFP. You want to come in and, you know what I mean, and have those ideas exact, you know what I mean, and just relate them as best as you can on camera. Not as quickly as you can, but just as best as you can. You know,
efficiently.
People's time. So that's it. I'm down with that.
Yeah, so what else is something helpful? How to book you guys. So say, I know you guys have agents or you have websites. How would I go about booking you guys? And then if I'm a model interested in working with another makeup artist, how would I book them?
So for me, you can actually hop right on my website, neonfix.com, and you can book me directly through there, book an appointment. I also run a subscription program, and I actually have a couple models on there. It works out cheaper for you to do a subscription or, you know, a retainer with an artist that you know, if you're going to be using them a bunch of times for a bunch of different events.
Oh, you know, I didn't know that. How does that work?
Yeah. So you can log right on my website and do that. Otherwise, yeah, you can go through agents. I work with a couple agents. Instagram is great, again, because you get to see a visual portfolio usually of the artist. And yeah, what do you think?
So you can book me directly. However, I do have management. For certain jobs, it depends on what it is, and I like for people to contact her. That is Evalor Consultants. I will leave a link. Or I will have, I'll have you leave a link for me on how we're going to do that so that you can contact her about anything. I'm sorry?
Do you see a comment section on the right of your screen? Oh, actually, if you tell me right now, I can write it in.
Okay, so it's EVOLUER consultants.com.
Okay, got it. It's out there.
Definitely. And then for certain things, you can contact me directly because I'm not exclusive with her completely. So I do things on my own. Again, I do freelance, but I have management now. So it just depends on what the job is.
Okay. And I also put yours, Janelle. It's neonfix.com, right?
Yep, perfect.
So that's on there, guys, if you're interested in working with them. And then don't be afraid to find someone's DMs on Instagram. Even if you have just simple advice, like I do it all the time. People do it to me all the time. They'll just ask me a question. Obviously, it's up to them if they want to respond or not. Don't feel disheartened if you don't get a response back. Just go on to the next person and ask the next person because there's so much
going. I think that's the trick with anything. You have to just keep knocking on those doors. Eventually, somebody will let you in. So it's just about being consistent and persistent in anything. I mean, that pertains to us as makeup artists, right? And you as a model, and people as photographers. Just think in the industry in general, don't like let anything discourage you. Just keep.
Yeah. Speaking of
and also don't just
discouragement,
go for anyone. I believe, like, don't just because I know when I talk about photography, anybody, just because anybody slides in your DM and is like,
Right.
hey, I want to, you want to make sure that things are aligned and, energetically things are good and you're going to actually produce good content.
Absolutely.
Don't just work with anybody just because, it is free. So
Right.
you want to balance both quality, alignment, good energy, and also, cross promotion,
That's
which
right,
works
bro.
out good for your economically.
Exactly, because time is money, and I have done it before. Like when I first started out, I've worked with photographers, and I took the time out. It was a free shoot, so we both got the content out of it, but I never used the photos because I didn't like them, or it wasn't, the quality wasn't good enough to put in my portfolio. And I appreciate the time. It was good time and good vibes and great connections made, but at the same time, is it really worth your time? Like, is it something that you can use to benefit your career?
Totally.
Benefit your goals? Like, is it beneficial to you and the person who's asking you? So that's what you have to think about. And is it a brand that you want to relay yourself with?
Right.
Think about that too.
Exactly.
So when it comes to working on set as a model, what are some things, like, I have cried on set before. I have cried at an audition before when I heard no. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. What advice can you guys give? Janelle, I know you have some pointers, like, involving like hair and makeup, what to do when you get on set, especially if you go on set and there's someone who doesn't know how to do your hair. Like, how do you handle that situation?
Yeah, so representation on set is definitely a problem. I have friends who are models and have actually cried on set like you because the person didn't know what to do with their afro or their dreads. It's actually really a problem. Someone actually tried to use aerosol hairspray on my friend's afro. It's really crazy out there. It gets crazy. And it's not just one answer as to why this happens. Representation is a problem. But it's something that we have to deal with. So I would say to be proactive if you can, and again, be very meticulous with who you're working with, and whoever you decide to work with, make sure they have someone that is proficient and used to dealing with your hair texture and or your complexion of your skin. So you can be proactive and hit up the photographer beforehand, or if it's an actual client that booked you beforehand, to make sure that the glam squad they're choosing, maybe you can get a link to their profile so you can vet them, visually vet them and see if they're going to be capable of dealing with your hair texture. And yeah, you just really have to be proactive. If you're with an agency, it's not always, professional for the model to hit up the client. Then your agency rep, you want to hit up your agency rep and make sure that every shoot you're going on, again, even if it's a test shoot and it's free, make sure that they're able to deal with your texture, and they're going to be prepared with foundation and products to match your skin color. Another thing is to make sure you have products yourself. Like, make sure you have your favorite foundation handy, or your favorite, moisturized cream. Come with your hair already twisted if it's natural.
Even though,
damage.
So say I get booked for a job, and in the email it says hair and makeup team on set, come with clean hair, washed, clean hair, bare skin, no makeup. Like, even though they say that, should I still come with my product? Should I still come with anything else? Even though they're assuring me that they're gonna have it?
If the client is, I don't know, Crest toothpaste. Hope this doesn't mess up any branding, marketing. You might want to make sure you have your foundation handy. If the client is Carol's daughter, I think you might be good. So it really just depends. And you might again want to hit up whoever contact you have for the shoot ahead of time.
Right.
To just
Look
be
at
like,
your
you know,
call
hey, I'm not
sheet
trying to
and
be
go down that list.
Exactly. I'm not trying to be a diva, but, you know, just to save everybody some time, because, you know,
That's right.
let's just make sure we're all prepared.
Right. You're not saying anything wrong, especially nowadays. You have to make sure that everything is right because, you know,
exactly.
when, you know, people are kind of looking at you to take the rounds, to take hold of everything now. I think back in the day, there was some like exceptions, but I feel like now because of social media, because there is so much access, so much information, it's almost like, girl, now you knew.
Exactly.
There's honestly times where I have been on set and on the call sheet it says don't, like, they have everything for you, and then I get to set and then the makeup artist is asking me if I have foundation, and luckily I brought it, so I do have it, but I'm just thinking, no, I didn't bring it because they told me there'd be makeup artists on set. But from experience, like in the beginning when I first started, I wouldn't have. And then it's like a lot of times, especially at a fashion show, there's like, tell me if you have experienced this, but there's usually like 50 models ready to walk out, or 25 models, and then 3 to 5 makeup artists, and then 2 hairstylists, right?
Hello.
So then it's 2 hours to get ready. So they'll start doing hair and makeup early, but it usually takes 30 minutes to an hour to do one model's face. So then the last 30 minutes is when they're rushing through everyone's faces,
Right.
the last 10 models done, and then you end up walking out on the runway looking half done. So it's really beneficial to either do your base face, so basically do your foundation and just the basic stuff, and then just let them add to the top, or even just do it yourself, especially if you see that there's a long line and you know that you're not going to get seen, just do it yourself.
Right.
A lot of times it's fine to do it. There has been times where so there was one time, right? So I was doing a fashion show for New York Fashion Week for this designer that I really wanted to work for. So we were doing the show, and I had done a photo shoot with her previously to promote the show. So I was wearing the same thing in the photo shoot that I was supposed to be wearing on the runway, and I knew how she wanted my hair. So the day of, there's probably 25 girls, 25 models, both male and female, and then, no, scratch that, there's only female. So there's 25 female models, and then there's probably 5 hair and makeup artists. So I'm like, screw this. It doesn't look like anyone here can do my hair because I had an afro, but it was shorter because this was probably 6 months ago because this was fall New York Fashion Week. So my hair was shorter. I was like, I'm just going to do it myself. I had my makeup. I had my hair products. I had my brush. I had my pick. You know, I had my what's it called? My toothbrush for my baby hairs. You know, I had to bring everything.
So baby tries.
So I'm in the bathroom doing my hair, and then I come to the designer and I ask her, like, is it fine? And she says, yeah, you look good. I'm minding my business, and then the head stylist comes up to me like, oh, girl, because, you know, he's like, girl, what's going on with your head? Like, he didn't say it that way, but he sure did say, girl, like, we have to do something about that. And I was like, look right. In all honesty, he's like, in all honesty, it doesn't look right. And I was like, the designer said it was fine. Like, I've worked with her before. She said this is what she wanted. Long story short, I had to take out my hair. They have 3 people plucking and prodding at my hair. Nobody knows how to do it. I'm the only one who knows how to do it, but they're not letting me do it. I'm getting so frustrated. Like, to have hands in your head pulling on your hair and they're not getting nowhere because they don't know what to do with it is like the worst feeling. I started crying. I was like, listen, just let me do it myself. That was like, from that day forward, I was like, I can't do fashion shows. Like, I don't know. Going forward, I'll probably do it again, but I need somebody there that knows how to do my hair. Like, if you were in that situation, you know, like, how should I have handled that situation?
I thought you handled it perfectly, which was to let them know that you could do it yourself and get number 1, which is a whole bunch of divas backstage. The number 1 is approval from the designer. I hate like being backstage and whatever, and the designer approves something, and then it's like there's 10 other personalities back there. It's the designer's show. If the designer says it's good, I would have just been like, listen, I got approval from the designer. I think you should speak to her and then if they're invading your personal space too much, and again, they don't have professionals, they don't seem like they know what they're doing. If you feel like you're kind of being harassed, I would say to just, tell the designer you want out. It's not worth it. It's not worth, the emotional abuse, because at that point it's kind of like emotional abuse,
Yeah, it really is, especially being like one of 3 other African Americans or like colored women there, and then you have people who don't know what they're doing and they want to insist on doing your hair, and they're not listening to when you say, let me just do it, because you clearly don't know what you're doing. I've been sitting in this chair for 15 minutes and we've gotten nowhere. Like,
exactly. And at that point it's just ego, and you're not there for anybody's ego. Again, like, you're a professional, we're all professionals here, and it's all our time. And yeah, I would just like get out of there. I would tell the designer, like, listen, like, unless we can come to a professional agreement on things, i.e. I do my own hair and makeup, then I'm just not going to be able to walk, because that just sounds ridiculous. It just sounds like people have a whole bunch of egos. And when their egos involved, they try to create things that are not real. Like, oh, look, I know how to do it. No, you obviously don't know how to do it. Like, set your ego aside and let's be professional here.
Yeah, I for sure ended up doing my own hair that day. I was, even though like I got emotional and I started crying, I still wasn't having it. Like, they started trying to spray. Oh, and that's another thing. If I'm on set, just honestly, the whole point of this conversation, what I get from it is just don't be afraid to speak up. Know your value, know your worth, know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Like, there's been times where I'm on set and a makeup artist does my makeup and she does something that looks a bit off. And honestly, in the most respectful way, I just say, maybe this will look better on me. Maybe this color will look better on me. Is there a way that you can fix my eyebrows?
Right. You can fix it.
No, I wouldn't say that. But I'd be like, is there a way that you could just adjust this? Like, honestly, sometimes it's an honest mistake and they don't notice it. And all it takes is for you to bring it to their attention and they'll correct it. Hopefully, that's what it is.
Hopefully.
Listen, ladies, this is awkward, but I live like on a city Ave, and I'm gonna have to shut everything down because I'm like, my windows, because I hear all the buses. So I'm so sorry to be live. But should I just tap out for a second?
No, it's cool. Just hop out. Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. Janelle, what else?
Oh Lord. Okay. I'm like, I can't pay attention to all the buses. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah, so models, remember, like, don't be afraid to speak up. Not even just models, anyone in life. Don't be afraid to speak up and represent yourself, because no one else is going to do it. Like, you're your own representation. You build your brand. You market yourself. You have your, you know what works best for you. So don't be afraid to speak up. Share your voice.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So when you guys are is there anything else you want to touch on within that subject?
Just definitely be prepared. You guys didn't think this is funny? I literally have a friend that had an emergency wig in her car. She's like, Janelle, sometimes I don't trust these hairstylists. Like, I have an emergency afro in my car right now.
Yes.
And an emergency, like, let's. She's not playing any type of games. Like, that's
right.
Invest in your career. This is your career,
Right.
Even clients that I have that do have agencies, even a lot of, they still take it upon themselves to be proactive on social media, to get bookings, to, this is your career. It's in your hands, and you should, plus you're in the beauty industry. If you're a model, you're in the beauty industry. So don't act like you don't know how to, like, beat your face real quick.
Exactly.
Right. I feel like this.
Do your little twist out, like,
right.
Like, don't underestimate how good you are at beauty. So
that's true. That kind of geared me toward learning how to do my own makeup. Was traumatic.
But you look gorgeous right now. So
like that.
Right.
I know a little something more than I did before.
Right. Well, that's a believable face. Like, that's a beautiful, dewy, fresh look that I think most people strive for. A lot of people sort of like, how do I get that look? They want to really look natural and glowy, as opposed to having a beat face like maybe what I do today.
No, you
You know what I
look
mean? I feel like
beautiful.
it's not believable. And then with the pandemic, it's like, girl, who's seeing you right now?
Yes. So Daria,
Honey,
if I
no,
wanted
your
to,
face looks gorgeous. Beat it, honey.
yes, Daria, how would I accomplish a natural look?
I think my main thing is starting off with great skincare. I'm just a big fan of just taking care of your skin, finding out what your skin type is, and going according to that. I'm not an esthetician, so I don't want to be giving out advice. You know what I mean? But I do, know something about skincare. I think the main thing is find out what your skincare or what your skin type is, and going based on that, using the right products for your skin. Don't overdry. If you're dry, obviously don't use any products that are drying to your skin, which is going to cause more problems. Read those labels carefully. Maybe consult with a dermatologist, whatever you need to do. That's I think is the main thing again is skincare. Taking care of your skin, because that starts with everything. That's going to determine how your makeup is going to perform, how well your makeup's going to last, how your makeup's going to affect your skin in general. So again, skincare is everything. And then I think Fresh Face is, my main products are concealer. I love concealer. I feel like that does everything. Even if you don't want to use foundation, you just find a great concealer and spot conceal. So you can use it obviously for underneath the eyes, because that's going to brighten and lift and refresh the face.
That's something that I don't do, that I probably
to me.
You have that
I do that on a daily basis. Even if I don't do a foundation, I do like a little concealer under the eye.
I got it, because you have no idea how much that almost gives you the illusion that your face is absolutely flawless. And you don't have to have a full face of foundation on. And these are like days you don't want to be beat. These are days you kind of want to go out and just kind of look alive or refreshed. That's why concealer to me is like my number one go-to thing. Maybe filling in the brow lightly, but that can be optional depending on what your brows look like. I have to, because I have like non-existent brows. But there's a lot of women who are, have a decent brows. So just, you can leave that alone. You can opt for that. I think mascara is number 2. You have to have that on the list. Maybe a light bronzer or some type of BB cream or something that's just nice for the cheeks to give you like a little bit of a glow, and a lip gloss. I mean, it's just simple. And again, especially with the climate right now, and I'm not talking weather-wise, with everything that's going on, you kind of just want to keep it as simple as possible, but still look fresh and still feel confident when you step out into the world. You're like, okay, I look like a little something going on.
Or for when you hop on TikTok or Instagram. I don't know about y'all, but I've gotten into TikTok lately. I'm obsessed with it.
Me too.
I gotta follow you. What is it?
Janelle Neon 1.
Janelle Neon 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So Daria, what concealer? What brand do you recommend for concealer?
Okay, so there's so many. Okay, now I'm a big Black Opal fan. Okay, huge. I love their concealing foundation. It's in like a small. I wish I had it in front of me. I was using it just now. It's called Concealing Foundation, and it's in a small like round pot style jar. It's the only one that they have that looks like that. That's my favorite because it's full coverage. So I love a full coverage concealer. That's me personally. Not everybody needs or wants full coverage. I think my second go-to is Tarte. I believe it's called, hey, do you remember, Janelle, what it's called? The Tarte Silicone, I forget what it's called, but it's Tarte.
Isn't it 2?
Yes, it's in a tube. Tube, but like more like a cylindrical tube.
Okay,
yeah.
It's just not coming to my brain.
I know, and it'll hit me when I'm off live, right?
I'm such an old school matte girl. I love Studio Finish concealer.
Love it. No, I love it too.
I'm so old school.
I love that too. That's why I was saying Black Opal, because that's the only one that reminds me so much of MAC, because it's full coverage. It was in that little pot, and those things do the trick.
Yeah, the little pot. That's what I have on right now. They have
with
the different
they do it all. So I would say those are my favorites. Everything that's kind of like full coverage. And again, if girls who want something a little bit lighter, go for like the Tarte. concealer. I think most people will know what I'm talking about. It's the most popular one to date.
Okay, I just listed it on the comments, and I'm gonna have to refer back to that because I'm not gonna remember.
Okay.
I bought makeup from MAC probably like when I first started modeling, and I've never purchased any new makeup, but then I recently started going to Makeup Forever. Oh, here's another tip, guys, for models who don't have a makeup artist. If you go into MAC or Sephora, they usually offer a free makeup service as long as you purchase something. I think the purchase has to be like $25 or more. But it pays out because usually a makeup artist, I don't know how much you guys charge, but it can go anywhere from $50 and up, $200. Right. So if you're on a budget and you can't afford to pay a makeup artist, or maybe a makeup artist is unavailable, the one that you would like to work with, you just go walk into the mall or call before you go, any Sephora or MAC, and find out if they have any makeup artists that can do your makeup. There are a lot of people who go for like special occasions. Yeah. I wouldn't do bridal. I wouldn't go there if I was getting married, but I'm sure some people do.
I've heard people doing that though. Okay. Exactly. Quite a few.
And I've done it for a run through first. Yeah, and it's actually works depending on who does your makeup. Like, right. Yeah, I would like probe it out, test it out, scope out the area, and see. I would choose the best one. Like, there's probably like 3 people on the floor. 2 are available to do your makeup. This is you judging them, but just look and be like, okay, who can do it better? Choose that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
The good part is they'll have access to all of the products. They have to have your skin tone. They have that. That's the good part.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I ended up buying. That's how I ended up buying a lot of the makeup that I have because I didn't know where to start. So I went into Sephora, I had someone do my makeup for a shoot, and then everything that she used, I just bought. And I just watched everything she did, and I just copied that going forward. So,
it's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they still offer that service because for a while I thought that they didn't, but because it seems like when I would walk in there, well, maybe because of the particular stores I was going to, it was more like, more of a free for all. So, which is fine too. And I think that it's just, they have it very organized now where I feel like back in the day, I'm a little bit of an OG. You said, right? So like it was more like people could just walk right in and just get their makeup done.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, now you actually have to go online and book an appointment. Now that I'm thinking about it, I remember going on the website and doing a time slot. So they have days in advance and you could choose the slot. And if you have a preference, I don't know if you could choose the artist or not. Right. But you can definitely choose the time and the date.
Yeah, things have changed, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. What else do you have to share with us aspiring models? Me, a model who needs like all the advice ever. I'm always looking for advice and helpful tips.
I guess also, especially during this time, it's time to, I guess, maybe refresh people's memories about cleanliness and cross-contamination. So if you're on a fashion show and there's only one, your friend has mascara and there's no mascara left, like you're walking with no mascara then. Like, you got to be safe. Like, all this craziness backstage using this makeup, that definitely needs to stop also at this point.
Especially now.
Exactly. Yes. One tip too. Again, it goes back to being prepared because there are supplies that you can carry, especially again now with the situation. You can go online and order disposable mascara wands. They're like $3 for a pack of 100. So, you just have to really take extra precautions now. Q-tips, just have a cute little whatever, like emergency bag or just a, whatever, protective bag. We're going to name it something at some point now, right? So, to protect yourself, whatever you think you need, alcohol pads or, cotton balls, wipes, alcohol wipes, all of that stuff, alcohol sprays. There's so many things you can do to really protect yourself, disinfect your tools and don't share them. I'm sure, I think we need to even have like just disposable brushes that you can throw away, you know? So
Exactly.
if you want to, I can't say that for every situation, but in some situations, do you know what I mean? If you really don't know or trust that makeup artist, then maybe have your own brushes with you, or have some type of disposable brushes.
All right, so we have a question that just came in from Jamilda. And before I share this question, because this is exactly what I was just about to touch on, great topic, Janelle. When they were there, I'm a germaphobe, okay? And I've been on set before and the makeup artist brushes just look dirty, or I'll see that she's doing all these models' makeup and not really, she doesn't have enough brushes to change out, or she's not really, I don't know, it's just like, I don't like that on my face. I don't want to
She should be cleaning them in between. Yeah.
Okay.
You should try to clean them in between. That can't always happen, but that's why maybe you should have like different sets. Just have enough.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if you know, from working with me,
yeah,
that's I'm trying to have a lot of brushes, so I don't have to reuse them. Say if I have 2 girls, okay, I use that set on that girl. Here's the, the other set for the other model. You know, try to just be conscientious.
Well, because I'm such a germaphobe, there's been times where I just did my own makeup, and then this is more so for background work, which I don't really do much that often. Like, there's not, if I'm doing a commercial or a print project, usually it's just me on set, or there's like 3 other talent and they have a makeup artist per, so I don't worry about this. But when it comes to background work, there's usually like 100 people on set, and there's probably like 10 makeup artists. So I'm the one who just hides in the corner somewhere, and when they come and check me to see if I have my makeup done, I'm like, yeah, she did it because I did it myself, and I don't want her to see my face with the brushes. I'm just such a germaphobe.
Yeah,
but Jamilda asks, she says, this is more of a general question. How often should makeup brushes be washed?
Every night. Well, especially for a makeup artist, every night, especially if you have you know what I mean? You have back-to-back gigs, wash those every night.
After every use.
I mean, that's one thing. It's a chore. It's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes to do it, but you have to do it because God forbid, especially now. Do you know what I mean? Somebody should have some type of reaction or.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, Janelle.
There's brush cleanser you can use. Actually, MAC has a great brush cleanser. To me, it's like one of the best in the industry because it doesn't have like a greasy feel afterwards or anything. And the brushes are pretty much good to go if you just clean them on a paper towel. So there really should be no excuse to not clean your brushes. Not even if, I know some people, like, you're a civilian, you're not a professional. You're like, oh, I can clean it then the week. That's fine. But I mean, know that bacteria is on that brush. You know what I mean? It's not you're not a professional. You're in your own home. Okay, like you do what you want, but if you're gonna use these brushes, you might as well clean them. It's like
totally.
It's just like it's like wearing the same socks every day. Like you could do it, but
that was a great analogy. Really, and let me tell you, now you can just get like a little portable spray, a mini spray to fit in your bag or whatever for you personally. And I don't know if the comment was directed for like actually washing them or washing them in between people, but I think it goes for both. I think in between people, that's when you should have like cleanser on set. Like a spray cleanser, like Parian Spirit, Cinema Secret makes a good one. MAC makes a great one. There's so many options. And then again, for like when a makeup artist is done at night, or on offset or whatever, they should be thoroughly washed with like shampoo or use like a heavy duty dishwashing agent, which gets it totally.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask because I don't. Like, what's something else that you can use aside from cleaners, right? I don't wear makeup that often. If I do, I'll use my sponge. Right. And I clean that with Dawn soap. Okay. But regarding my brushes that I need to clean because I haven't cleaned them in a while, what should I use to clean those? Just like shampoo and conditioner?
You can use a shampoo. When I used to work at MAC, and I don't know if you remember, Janelle, but I don't know if how they trained you guys, but we used Suave. Did you guys use Suave as well?
Basic shampoo, like as basic as possible. Dollar store shampoo. You don't want anything with extra proteins on it that's gonna stick to your brush. Argan oil. like the cheapest shampoo you could buy.
Okay.
Yep, 100%. Suave used to do the trick, and then sometimes I'll use like they'll have this high-powered dish soap, and it really gets it clean. And then you can also use like a good bar soap. Do you know what I mean? Because that kind of gets that's really great for the synthetic brushes when it's hard to get out foundation and stuff like that. Because that's those are the ones you
really go right on the brush.
Yes.
Right on the soap.
Okay.
Yep,
So
exactly.
all right. So shampoo.
Put the shampoo in the middle of your hand, wet the brush a little bit near the over the sink, and then start swirling the brush in the middle of your hand with the shampoo, and then go underneath the faucet to, underneath the ferrule, which is the silver part of the brush.
Yeah.
You don't want to soak up the whole brush because then you're gonna run the chance of loosening up the glue, and then the hair is falling out and the brush falling apart. So you want to keep it below the ferrule of the brush, which is the silver part, and just rinse underwater, and then lay flat to dry.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. I need to clean my brushes. I don't use them now, but it has been a while. I clean the sponge every time I use it. But like the only brush I actually got, so when I went on vacation, I brought these brushes from Amazon because I didn't want to carry. So these are brushes I got from like Sephora, I think it is. Okay. Yeah, Sephora. And I don't really know how to use them. Like, is this brush blush? Like, what is this
Pick
one?
A brush.
This one is for me. Okay.
Pick a brush and we'll tell you how to use it.
What would this be used for?
It looks like a powder brush to me.
Powder, blush.
Okay.
Powder.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are powder, right? Yeah, it looks like a brush.
Oops.
Yeah, that's like mediums. Anywhere you want to put a medium to large placement of powder, that's what you're gonna use.
Okay.
So to set your foundation all over, you possibly could use it to do a little like bronzer.
Yes.
All right. How about this one?
What do they call it? Décolletage.
Yeah.
So this one is for your shadow, right? For your eyelid.
Is it flat?
It has like a bit of a curve.
Do this with your hand. Put your hand up like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
It's large angled.
Okay.
Shader.
Yes.
That's a shading brush.
So without
use that.
It's angled though, so it might go in your crease and shade. Yeah, like you're saying, like a shade and crease. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then this one over here, it's called Eye Enhancer.
Okay.
That looks fluffy. That kind of looks Is it fluffy? Like it looks kind of like crease too.
It looks fluffy and flat at the end.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use it in your crease, which is in the inner fold of your eye.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing something right. And you know what? The only reason I'm doing it right is because of this guide right here. The first time I did my makeup, I followed this step-by-step tutorial.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so I have all these brushes basically, and I don't really know, aside from the smaller ones, I don't really know how to use these. And I'm sure there are people who can relate. Like, what is this for?
That
Foundation.
looks like a contour brush for is it what's the texture? Is it like synthetic or is it hair?
It's synthetic.
So it might be that's for foundation, I would say, right? What do you think, Janelle? I think it's for foundation.
Yeah,
I would use that right in here. That's exactly what I use. You know, when I do your makeup, and I put the contour, right? The contour foundation shade, and then blend it and buff it out, and then you use your sponge to blend it out even more. But I think that's like place it, buff it, and then buff it again with a sponge. But
all right, here's a better question because this is a set of about. This is a set of about 20 brushes that I have no idea what to do with. So a better question is, how do you find out how to use these? Like, where should I go to figure out what each one is used for if I'm using them? So say I wanted to get into like really beating my face and really getting glammed up. Like, aside from following YouTube tutorials, because I've tried that and it doesn't work all the time. So how would I figure out how to use these?
Ask an expert.
What did you say?
DM us.
DM me. All right, y'all.
Exactly. That's a lot for 3 more minutes. Watch those brushes, girl.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Some of them haven't been used, but yeah, that's a fact.
Do me a favor and then take a picture of them, lay them flat on something like white, obviously, and then I try to help you. You know what I mean? Depending on what it looks like.
Okay, not even really for me because I'm probably never going to use them. I usually just stick with what I know, the sponge, mascara, whatever. But like for somebody who might be interested, like I don't even know what to do with these. So I'm just wondering, like, how would you go about learning? Just use it?
It's trial and error, right? It's trial and error. That's what I feel. They become like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Even makeup artists, even me, we're down to our last brush. It's an eye brush or it's a lip brush. I might be using that as somewhere else as a concealer brush. If it's clean.
That's true.
So it's also get creative. Like everything doesn't have to be exact. Like, oh, this brush can only be used for this.
Totally.
Like,
okay,
the glam police are coming to your door.
Right.
A concealer brush for a lip brush.
Right.
But
okay.
Yeah, I've been known to do that too, right? Depends on what. Yeah, depends on what it is.
Multi-purpose.
They are multi-purpose. Very true.
Noted. This was fun. Does anybody in the crowd have any questions? That was a great question about the brush cleaning. I'm probably sad to say, but when I first got my first makeup set, I didn't clean it like the entire time I had it. But I didn't really use it. But I should
take this. You're like
you and 20 million other people.
Like I probably used it like 4 times, but I had it over the course of like a year, and the entire time I never cleaned it. This, on the other hand, I just got. So that's I'm gonna get to those, but
Dwayne Reed even has brush cleanser.
Walgreens.
Yeah, pharmacies have brush cleanser. You don't have to like go to some like niche makeup store or like professional makeup store. They have them at Walgreens. So there's really and like we said, shampoo. There's really no excuse. And at the bare minimum, alcohol. Like you have some alcohol in your house. At least spray that bad boy with alcohol.
Okay.
You have time to flush out all the color and the product.
Yeah, you don't want to start breaking out for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. So that's exactly what I mentioned. Someone said they rarely clean their brushes, so that's probably why they break out. So yeah, I was thinking I got a bad breakout. Like I think it was 2 years ago. I think Daria, we were working.
Yes, I was gonna say your skin looks amazing, and that must be why you started to clean the brushes.
It must be why, because at one point I started breaking out like crazy, and I was trying to figure out what it was. Honestly, I think it was a mixture of the brushes. And then also, since I'm natural, I have a silk pillowcase. And either one, I wasn't changing it often enough, or 2, I just had too much product in my hair.
Very
and I was get on the pillowcase, and I was letting it get on my face.
That happens more often than not. You'd be so surprised. Oh my God.
So basically, I went to
looking flawless. I mean, no problems whatsoever. I mean, and it really changed very rapidly. It was like overnight. It was just like such a difference.
Yeah, it just got honestly, it took like a year. Honestly, it took like an entire year. I had this whole regimen. I got tea tree oil, I got almond oil, I got shea butter. I started using like honey mask, and I just devoted a year. And I was at one point I started using like this Neutrogena. I use Neutrogena products, but I started using this Neutrogena spot remover. And then at one point my dad asked me if I was bleaching my skin. That's how light my face got, because it wasn't really helping the spot. It was just helping. It was like lightening my entire face. My body was like brown, my eyes were like dark, and my dad's like, "Are you bleaching your skin?" At that point I was like, "Oh no, I gotta stop using this." And then I switched over to like honey, shea butter, and it took a while, but I finally have clear skin. Thank goodness. But yeah, it's a journey. So if you are breaking out or you're going through acne problems, just like be patient and listen to your skin, listen to your body. It'll speak to you. It'll tell you what you need, and just be patient. So like once you start a regimen, you're not going to see change overnight. You have to like stick with it. And then if you're using it for a while and you don't notice any change, that's when you switch to something else. That's what I would say. That helped me.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, but
And use your fingers for makeup. If your brushes are dirty, you wash your hands and use your hands. Like that. Like I'd rather someone just use spot conceal with their finger, you know, blend with their hands, than use dirty brushes that are gonna give them a breakout and then
Absolutely.
are gonna take 60 days to, you know, to remove. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Well, that ends our segment. If you guys want to touch on anything else, I'll do a quick recap. So basically, we touched on how to book you guys. Their information is linked there, or you can find the information on my Instagram page, or just use their handles to find them online. Janelle Hill, Daria Latham, Abyssinia Campbell. You can find us on Instagram under those names. We just gave tips, advice, what to do if you go on set and you are like among hairstylists and makeup artists that don't know how to work with you, like how to approach that situation, how to do your makeup. You don't have a makeup artist, where to go, how to do trade for print, how to find artists to work with, how to build mood boards, all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate the support, and we're happy to share advice. And we'll see you guys next
thanks,
time.
guys. Nice
Bye.
meeting everybody. This was so much fun.
So much fun. See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.